really? I'd love to meet your parents. Hey, why don't you bring them over for dinner? I'll cook.
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Len thought he'd earn some brownie points with girlfriend Aoife by inviting her parents round for dinner. But will his skill with a can opener be enough to impress the hungry diners? Brush up on your skills this week with advice on reading recipes, following written instructions, and getting the hang of alphabetical order. There's a learning pack to accompany this series. It has worksheets so you can practice whatever topics are covered each week. You can get your free copy of the learning pack by phoning Nala on 1800 20 20 65. Now, before we get to join Len in the kitchen, we're off to Tala in Dublin to meet Margaret Scott. Margaret likes to spend time in her new study, writing stories and long letters for her parents. Something she'd love to have done while they were both still alive. Because despite a happy childhood in New Ross, County Wexford, Margaret left school unable to read and write.
I was taught by the nuns, and I had a few bad experiences in there. They had their own favourites. If you put up your hand, they say, sit down, you don't know it. And they never asked us any questions, although we knew the questions. And I thought that was very unfair, you know. I didn't realise about reading or writing then. I didn't know how important it was. Week before Christmas, the priest used to come in and used to bring all beautiful big pictures, holy pictures into the classes. Not little small now, fine big ones. And he'll ask all questions about it, and you go up and you put up your hand and answer them. Well, the nun put us all at the back, the ones that couldn't read and write at the back of the class. And the priest answered all the questions, asked us all the questions, and I'd be, you're eager to put up your hand. So he used to ask me, and I answered all the questions for him. Thrilled to bits I was. Couldn't believe it myself. I was only young at the time. And when anything like that happened in the class, the nun used to always give him a big clap and give him an apple. When the priest went out, there was an apple on the desk. I should never forget it. And she said, Mary, no, she used to call me Mary, come up here. I thought I was going to get an apple in the class, like the same everybody else. Well, she belted me from one end of the room to the other with the leg of a chair for getting up and answering the questions. And then after that, I never got up and I never answered this question in the class again.
After leaving school at 14, Margaret took on a variety of low-paid jobs, and she even worked in England for a few years, all the time disguising the fact that she couldn't read or write. Meeting her husband Dick provided her with valuable support and also provided her with a happy family of 3 children. But life still threw up a number of difficult situations.
My husband used to come with me. Any forms or anything used to be signed. I used to be like a little child standing behind him. And I used to feel terrible because he used to do everything for me, you know. And it was very, very lonely because I kept away from the people. I used to be out there in the garden, doing the garden. I used to see the neighbours going up to bingo. And I used to love to go to bingo. I was never inside of a bingo hall. Never. I made terrible mistakes in the supermarkets and that, you know. I was up in Williams's one time and I was thrilled to bits with the beans. And there were only 10p each at the time. I was thrilled to bits. I brought them all up to the counter. I had about 12 or 14 tins of them. And I said to the woman behind me, I said, it's a great bargain. I said, my kids love beans. And she said, Mrs., she says, that's dog food you have. I couldn't explain how he was, because I said the children must have been annoying me. I brought them all back and got the beans.
Please.
No.
Come on. It won't take you long. And anyway, I'd do it for you.
It'll be good for you.
I don't know what happened. The words just came tumbling out. No, really. I'd love to meet your parents. Hey, why don't you bring them over for dinner? I'll cook. I'll cook. I'm a prize tulip. Sometimes, honestly, I don't even know what I'm thinking.
Well, obviously you weren't thinking, but it's too late to cancel now. Pork chops. Now, you can't go far wrong with these.
I'll pay you.
I told you I can't. Wednesday night is my line dancing class. Look, it's not that difficult. Pork chops, new potatoes with parsley butter, and some Mediterranean vegetables. Simple, classy, guaranteed to impress.
Why don't I just cook some spaghetti with one of those oh-so-convenient sauces like you see in the TV?
And for afterwards, a white chocolate cheesecake. Simply delicious. Look, it's idiot-proof. You can't go wrong.
Alphabetical order means that words are arranged in order of the letters as they appear in the alphabet. Long lists are often put in alphabetical order to make it easier to find what you're looking for. In this list, apple pie goes before bread, which goes before pancake. An index is a list in alphabetical order, usually found at the end of a book. So if you're looking for recipes with chicken, the index is the place to start. As chicken begins with C, look near the beginning of the index, afterwards beginning with A and B. If you're looking for a recipe for lamb, this will be near the middle, and you'd find a recipe using tomatoes near the end. But what if the words start with the same letter? Well, in that case, you need to look at the first and second letter. Have a look at this example from page 29 of the Read Right Now workbook. Casserole comes before cheese because the second letter A comes earlier in the alphabet than H. When the first two letters are the same, chicken then comes after cheese because the third letter, E, comes before I in the alphabet. You need to understand alphabetical order to use a telephone book or a dictionary, and you can get in some practice by using pages 28 and 29 of the workbook.
She's on. Let's watch this for a minute. Now, it can't be that hard. What do we do here? Okay, get a pan, put it out. Right, melt some butter in the pan over medium heat. When it's melted, put the chops in, turn them over. After a few minutes, heat right down, cover and simmer. That's just easy peasy. Right, get the butter. Okay, chops. There we go. 3 nice porkers. Put them in there. Okay. What's that? Big now. No. Alright. Light there. Oh, yeah. Okay. A little bit of pepper. There. Okay, I think go. Golaggio! Oh no!
An abbreviation is a short way of writing a word. For example, Mr. and Doctor. Recipes also tend to use lots of abbreviations. Here's a few of the most common ones. LB is short for pound, OZ is short for ounce, and the metric measurement kilogramme is shortened to kg, and gram is shortened to g. Instead of a pint of milk, which in a recipe is shortened to pt, we also now buy a litre of milk, and a litre is usually shortened to L in a recipe. Other common abbreviations you find in recipes are TEASP for teaspoon, TBLSP for tablespoon, cm for centimetre, and IN for inch. Once again, there are more worksheets on reading recipes on pages 25, 26 and 27 of the workbook.